about breach of contract. So in the previous video, we've seen what is breach of contract and what are the several remedies which are available. Now, today we'll start with the first remedy which is available in case of breach of contract, and the first remedy which is available is suit for damages. So it is natural that in case a person is committing a breach of contract, there would be some damages which would arise to the other person who is suffering because of breach of contract. And because the other person, the aggrieved party, that party is suffering because of one party's non-performance, the person who is committed to breach of contract is liable to pay some damages to the person who is suffering because of the breach of contract. So the first and foremost remedy which that aggrieved party has is he can file a suit for damages. Now damages is something, it can be in form of compensation or it can be in form of any other ordinary or special damages which is arising to that person. So first let's talk about what are the several types of damages which are available in case of breach of contract. So the different types of damages which are there, first one is an ordinary damage. Now talking about ordinary damage is something which arises naturally in the course of breach of contract. Now if you remember the example which I used, that Mr. Ram had to sell his phone to had to sell a mobile phone to Mr. Sham. So therein we've taken the base price, the contract price is 10,000, and on the basis of the date on which the contract is cancelled, we've decided upon what would be the amount of damage which would have to be paid, 2,000, 3,000. So ordinary damage क्या होता है? Ordinary damage is something which is naturally arising in the course of your transaction. मतलब there is no special condition attached to it, but it is the normal compensation which has to be paid. It is nothing but, if I talk about it in simple words, it is nothing but the direct loss which is arising to the party because of one party's non-performance or because one person has committed a breach of contract. So the first type of damage which can be claimed is an ordinary damage, and ordinary damage is a damage which naturally arises because of the breach of contract, or in simple words, the immediate loss which a person incurs in case there's a breach of contract which happens. So that type of damage is called as an ordinary damage. So in general circumstances, in case of any breach of contract, the normal damages which are awarded to a particular aggrieved party are nothing but the ordinary damage. So now there would be a query which would come up to your mind, or there would be a question which would come up to your mind. You might be thinking कि मैम कोई सिचुएशंस में ऑर्डिनरी डैमेज तो होता ही है, बट इसके अलावा देयर वुड बी सम स्पेशल डैमेजेस आल्सो व्हिच वुड अराइज. सो उस केस में हाउ विल वी रिकवर the compensation for the special damages which are arising? So now let's talk about the second type of damage, and that is nothing but a special damage. So in ordinary damages, we've seen that these are the damages which naturally arise. Now talking about the special damages are those special circumstances under which you have incurred these damages, or I would say the damages over and above the ordinary damage would be termed as the special damages. Now coming to your question that how will you claim the special damages? So in case you're entering into a contract and आपको पता है कि ये this contract would impact something else as well, and beyond the ordinary damage आपको कुछ ज़्यादा damage भी हो सकता है. So whatever are the special conditions, whatever are the special circumstances attached to the contract which you are making, you will have to make aware the other party about the special circumstances which are existing in the contract. Now if I just take an example, say for example there's a person Mr. A and there's a person Mr. B. Okay, A and B. Now Mr. A, he has purchased a flat from Mr. B which is still under construction. So Mr. A ने क्या किया, उसने एक under construction flat खरीदा है Mr. B से. Now this flat is under construction and Mr. B says Mr. A that I'll hand over the flat to you by the month of August. Okay, so here we have three things with us. Mr. A has purchased a flat from Mr. B. The flat is under construction and Mr. B has said Mr. A that he'll give the possession of the flat to Mr. A in the month of August. Now A B से confirm करता है कि पक्का मुझे अगस्त तक फ्लैट मिल जाएगा, तो B बोलता है yes, I'll definitely give the flat to you by the month of August. Now what happens is A enters into a contract or rental agreement with another person, Mr. C. A enters into a rental agreement with another person, Mr. C, and this rental agreement, Mr. C will come and stay in this flat from the month of September. So यहाँ पे there are two contracts. One is between Mr. A and Mr. B, that is for the flat. Second is again between Mr. A and Mr. C, but this is giving that particular flat on rent. So यहाँ पे A, on the basis of Mr. B's promise that Mr. B will hand over the flat to Mr. A in the month of August, A enters into a rental agreement with Mr. C and says that from September you can come and stay in the house. But now A also informs Mr. B कि आपको पक्का house जो है मुझे अगस्त तक दे देना पड़ेगा, because if you do not give the house to me by the month of August, I'll not be able to give the house to Mr. C till the month of September. So by any means you have to give the house to me in the month of August. Now let's look at what happens. Now what happens is B is not able to give the house to Mr. A in the month of August, and B gives the house to Mr. A in the month of October. So क्या हुआ यहाँ पे, पूरा 2 महीना उसको लेट मिला. He was supposed to get the house in the month of August, तो अगस्त में नहीं मिला. He did not get it in the month of September as well, and he's bought the house in the month of October. As a result of which, what has happened is A has lost the rent of the month of September and also the month of October, because now Mr. C can come and stay in the house only from the month of November. Okay, because there are some other interior things which Mr. A has to do in the house. So Mr. A can give the house to Mr. C only in the month of November. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Because of one delay, there are different delays which are happening over here. So now यहाँ पे A had previously communicated to Mr. B that if you give the house late to me, मुझे रेंट पे देना है तो वो मैं दे नहीं पाऊँगा. So this was some special condition which was already informed to Mr. B. Now Mr. A normal compensation तो claim कर ही सकता है Mr. B से, because he's delivered the or given the possession at a later date. But apart from that, Mr. A also can recover the rent of 2 months, that is month of September and October. So these type of damages are called as special damages, wherein you will have to explain the other person about some special circumstances. It could be a situation wherein say you have to get some machinery to your factory, and if you do not get that machinery, it would end up resulting in some loss of a contract. या फिर say you ordered a machinery and there's some inspection going to happen at your factory, and you say that if the machine does not come on time, तो वो जो inspection होगा उसमें I'll have to pay some fine, या I'll have to pay some amount to the people who've come for inspection, or I'll lose a contract because people who are coming to inspect my site, they would not give me the contract. So if there's any special condition which is attached to the contract which you are entering into, if you want to claim special damages, you will have to inform the other person also about the special circumstances which are there, which are existing in the contract which you are making. So these are the two types of damages which we've seen. Now apart from the ordinary damage and special damage, there are other types of damages as well which exist. So let's look at what are the other types of damages. So talking about the third type of damage, the third type of damage is vindictive or exemplary damage. So now vindictive or exemplary damages, this is a damage which can be claimed in only 2 situations. Now what are those 2 situations? Situation number 1, when there is breach of promise to marry. Situation number 2, wrongful dishonor of check. Okay, so vindictive or exemplary damages can be claimed in two situations. One is when there's a breach of promise to marry. Second is when there's a wrongful dishonor of check by the banker, customer's check by the banker. Talking about the first situation, breach of promise to marry. Now say a person has promised to marry another person and फिर last moment पे उसने जाके बोल दिया कि अभी मुझे तुमसे शादी नहीं करनी. So here the breach which is happening is something which is hurting a person's feelings, is something which cannot be measured because you cannot measure कि feelings कितना hurt हुआ, feeling 1 lakh के जितना hurt हुआ या feeling 5 lakh के जितना hurt हुआ या feeling 10,000 जितना hurt हुआ. So this is something which is not measurable. So vindictive damages and exemplary damages are those damages which are awarded, or rather which has to be paid in a situation wherein exemplary, the word exemplary means setting an example. So मतलब दोबारा ऐसा कोई गलती ना हो. So vindictive or exemplary damages के सिर्फ दो ही situations हैं. One is when a person is breaching a promise to marry. Second situation is when there's a wrongful dishonor of customer's check. Now wrongful dishonor of check basically means that I had that amount in my bank account but the check has bounced or the check has been dishonored because of the banker's mistake. So if I just take an example, say मैं आपको 500 रुपए का एक चेक देती हूँ. For some reason I have purchased something from you and I have given you a 500 rupees check because I did not have cash. So now you go and deposit that check in the bank. आप जब बैंक में चेक डिपॉजिट करते हो आपको पता चलता है चेक बाउंस हो गया. अभी आप लोग क्या सोचोगे, इसके पास 500 रुपये भी नहीं है तो ये बड़ा पेमेंट कैसे करेगी, बड़ा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कैसे एंटर करेगी. See, please understand, the smaller the amount of check, the higher is the damage to the credit worthiness, higher is the damage to the reputation of the person in the market. Now if you just look around the market and now then you'll just see that this person is not able to pay 500 तो आगे बड़ा बड़ा payments कैसे करेगी. How do we trust that this, if we sell items to this person on credit, the person will be able to pay back the amount. So here what is happening is, it is not the mistake of a person who is giving you the check. उसके पास sufficient balance है and he is also giving you the check with knowing that the check will be honored properly, but the check is dishonored because of the mistake of the banker. So यहाँ पे there's obvious loss of reputation of that person in the market, there's a loss of credit worthiness of that person in the market. So here in this situation, the person whose check has been wrongfully dishonored can claim vindictive or exemplary damages from the banker because it is not that person's mistake, it is the banker's mistake. इसलिए यहाँ पर लिखा है wrongful dishonor. Please understand, this word wrongful is very important here because if it is an actual dishonor, say I did not have money in my account and I still given you a check, तो फिर गलती बैंकर की नहीं होगी, गलती मेरी होगी. बट यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पे there is a wrongful dishonor of check which is happening. So vindictive or exemplary damages can be claimed in two situations. One, breach of promise to marry. Second, wrongful dishonor of a customer's check by a bank. Now moving ahead to the next type of damage. The next type of damage is a nominal damage. Now talking about a nominal damage. So nominal damages arise in a situation wherein there is no actual damages, but still some amount is charged as damage to the person who has committed the breach of contract so that he does not repeat the same mistake again. जैसे कहीं पे भी कुछ गलती हो जाती है तो you get some punishment, some sort of punishment. Might not be very big, but yes, नाम के लिए punishment मिलता है ताकि you remember that you had done this thing and you were penalized, या फिर आपको fine भरना पड़ा and you do not repeat the same thing again. So if I just take an example, say for example you have to go out and you go out on a two-wheeler without wearing your helmet, and because you've not worn your helmet, you're caught by a traffic police where you have to pay a fine. सो यहाँ पे एक बार फाइन भरने के बाद यू नॉट रिपीट द सेम मिस्टेक अगेन, हालांकि बहुत लोग करते हैं, बट स्टिल नॉर्मली अगर एक बार आप किसी चीज़ के लिए पनिश हो चुके हो, इफ यू बीन पनिश्ड फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर थिंग वंस, यू वुड नॉट रिपीट द सेम मिस्टेक अगेन एंड पे द सेम अमाउंट ऑफ फाइन अगेन फॉर दैट मिस्टेक, right? So nominal damages are damages for namesake. These damages are awarded in a situation wherein there's no actual loss which has happened, but yes, this is just like a punishment to the person who has committed a breach, and the amount also will be a nominal one. It would not be a very huge amount. The amount of nominal damages would also be a nominal amount only. Moving ahead to the other type of damage. The other type of damage is damages for destruction due to delay or deterioration due to delay. Now what is happening, this is basically in case of perishable goods, या फिर could be a situation wherein there's a delay in transportation of goods, or there's some delay which has happened in performance of the contract, as a result of which there's a deterioration in the quality of the goods which were being sold. So the other type of damage is damage for deterioration due to delay. So this is specific to some situations, could be for perishable goods or could be for a particular thing. Say for example, you had to transport a machinery at particular place. Now that machinery you had to transport within a day, but it took you 5 days to transport that machinery, and meanwhile there were some rains and other things which had happened, as a result of which there's some damage which has happened to the machinery. So उस situation में आपको ये damage pay करना पड़ेगा, या फिर you had to transport some vegetables to a particular place, you had to deliver them by tomorrow, because obvious they are perishable goods, so they cannot sustain for a longer period of time. So यहाँ पे in this situation you can claim this type of damage because there's a delay and there's a depletion in the quality of the goods, so for that you can claim the damage. And the last type of damage is a prefixed damage. Now prefixed, as the name itself suggests, this is something which has been fixed previously, मतलब पहले से ही fix किया हुआ था. At the time when you were making the contract, at that time itself you fix some damages that in case there's a breach which happens, then this is the amount which has to be paid by the person who's committing the breach of contract. Now say for example you have fixed a damage amount of rupees 1,50,000 in case of breach. The amount which has to be paid by the person committing the breach to the aggrieved person would be 1,50,000. But the actual damage which has happened is only rupees 1 lakh. ठीक है? आपका जो prefix damage था was 1,50,000, but the actual damage which has happened is only rupees 1 lakh. So in this situation, the court may allow a lesser amount as damage because actually आपका सिर्फ 1 lakh का damage हुआ है, तो why claiming more amount of damage? But say the actual damage has happened of rupees 2 lakh. ठीक है, अभी 2 लाख का डैमेज हुआ है, तो कोर्ट्स विल नॉट अलाउ यू अ हायर अमाउंट. दे कैन अलाउ यू अ लेसर अमाउंट बट not a higher amount than the amount which has been fixed in the contract. So these are all the types of damages which can be claimed by a person in case of breach of contract. Whenever he is filing a suit for damages, these are all the types of damages which can be claimed by a particular person. I hope you've understood all the types of damages clearly, and now let's move ahead to one small point about damages. There's section 73 which says that a person is entitled to claim compensation or damages for the loss which he is incurring because of breach of contract. So whenever there's a breach of contract which is happening, then whatever is the direct loss or whatever is the loss which is arising in the natural course or the ordinary course, that is something which can be claimed by the aggrieved person. So section 73 बस इतना ही बोलता है that a person who is suffering because of the breach of contract, who suffers because of the breach of contract, is entitled to claim compensation or damages for the loss which is naturally arising out of the circumstances out of the breach because of the breach. And it also says that no compensation will be given. So it also says that no compensation for any remote or indirect loss. So if there's any indirect loss or a remote loss, matlab nowhere not closely related to the breach which has happened, then in that situation no compensation would be awarded. It would only be a situation based loss which would be awarded to a particular person. So this was with respect to the first remedy of breach of contract. We'll talk about the remaining 4 remedies in the next video. Thank you. Keep studying, keep revising.